Welcome to the Vale, a rare bastion of civilization in a world recuperating after a terrible, centuries-long war. Though the battles ended 200 years ago, the land still recovers from this period of tumultuous strife and slavery. Join now the defenders of the Vale as they navigate a world riddled with opportunity and tragedy, all the while seeking glory, gold, and adventure.
It's dinner time. It's dinner time now. You've had a little bit of peace and quiet since your interview with the brother whose name I can't remember and pronounce right now. But oh wait, it's right here. Taseo. Uh, did you do anything in particular in between any of this?
I did not. I just continued studying my father's book.
Okay, so you keep studying the book for a little while, and after a bit, you feel a presence in the room with you.
All right. I look around. Do I see somebody?
Yeah, sitting at the chair, kind of off to your side, you see King, and he says, "Is it an interesting book?"
It is. I can't say that I understand a lot of it yet, but it's interesting.
I'm glad you said understand. I'm here to understand you. It's been my task to do a kind of, how you say, exit interview and kind of see what your future holds with or without the kingdom. So could you do me a favor? I've got a lot of things to do, corporate espionage and whatnot. Could you just tell me, are you guilty of the crime or innocent of the crime? And then why or why not?
I suppose if there's a crime, then I suppose yes, I'm guilty of it.
And again, why or why not, please?
Well, if the crime is that I knew who Princess Her Royal Highness was, and I did not come back here or let anyone know or reveal that in any way, then that's why I would be guilty. I didn't reveal it. I kept it a secret, and I accept that. I I felt I was doing right by her at the time, and if I was wrong, then I accept that.
Okay, and just to put it into perspective, he's dressed in his full leather armor. He's got, as far as you can tell, all of his daggers and swords kind of all over him. His face mask is up. You just see him talking from behind his eyes. His hair is pulled back in a pony and put up kind of nice. And he looks at you and goes, "Okay, so we've we've found that you're guilty of this crime that you've committed. How should we punish you?"
I I wouldn't presume to say that. I really have no idea. That's not
I'll per
it's not an area of
I pres-
expertise for me.
Take your best stab at it. I'll presume enough for the both of us.
As Rick right now, would Fenilius have any kind of an idea what kind of an answer to make here?
Man, you're in a tough spot because if this is essentially like a treason, like as it could easily be, like if you were to kidnap the princess, it would be considered a treason. Then it's punishable by death. That's a very in your lifetime, people have been killed publicly for treason in this kingdom. Like it's a thing they enforce.
Okay. So Fenilius knowing that, then I'll answer as him then. Well, the I believe again, I claim no expertise in this at all, but I believe the crime that I would be guilty of is treason, and I know what the penalty for that is. So again, I if that's what it is, then I accept that.
He's kind of sitting and he's got his hand. He's leaning on the table where you're researching your books are, and he's kind of nodding the whole time you say it. And he goes, "Well, it is most assuredly a treason charge, and by your own admission, you're guilty. And you acknowledge what the punishment is. I think it's a very easy decision." He stands up and he pulls his rapier, puts the point against your neck, and he goes, "Any last words?"
Uh, no.
He resheaths his rapier. He goes, "I have lived as Springwater for hundreds of years, and to this day, nobody's last word was no. Do you not have a last word or words?"
No, I don't.
And you feel
I
a
don't.
little trickle of blood on your nape of the nape of your neck where the point of the rapier had nicked your skin.
I very carefully don't reach up to touch it. No, no, I
Cornelius,
really don't.
even with these charges, How do you feel about your kingdom?
I mean, I've always found it to be fair. I have enjoyed living here. I've enjoyed my life. Um, I don't really have anything to complain about.
Okay. So let me recap it just so I make sure that we are both under the same understanding because it's miserable to kill a man and not be mutually on the same page. It just seems like a horrible thing to do. Fair? You are tried and found guilty of treason, uh, following a punishable punishment of death. That's pretty final. I've killed plenty of people. My job is to just reaffirm and follow through because you've befriended the prince. Really nice kid. Too much heart, not enough grit. But maybe it's because of the way he was raised. My brother's kind of a tool. Don't tell him I said that; he gets mad. But even in that, you remain loyal to the kingdom. Your acts, even though treasonous, we're done or committed in loyalty to the princess. That leaves me kind of a weird place. But you do need to forfeit your life, but I don't necessarily want to take it. Now, I don't live in a world full of moral quandaries, so this is kind of foreign territory for me. It's everything's black and white, or dead or alive. But I think you, my friend, are going to be bold. So here's what I'm going to propose to you as opposed to just killing you, all right? You forfeit your life to me. It's mine now. I own your life. It's a lot of years. You're young. And I choose to spend that life protecting my rebellious niece. So why don't you go back, spend some time with her, and keep her from screwing stuff up too bad? Or I can kill you, your debt's paid, and you're free to do whatever you want as a ghost.
Does he still have his rapier at my neck?
No, he put it back in his sheath when he started
Oh
the
yeah,
chat.
that's right. That's right. And obviously that is a very reasonable offer, and I would accept it. Of course, I must say, however, and in a it is what it is. I will continue to be loyal to Her Royal Highness for whatever that means.
So essentially, I'm asking you to go back to your guild, adventure with the princess, and do what you can to keep her alive. She's a little reckless. I may have given her too much of a sense of adventure, and she thinks she's bulletproof most of the time.
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, obviously, that's better than any alternative that has been offered so far. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Are you mad at the kingdom now?
No,
He kind of interrupts you as you're talking.
no,
You're
no.
still loyal,
Yes.
because I wouldn't want to have somebody disloyal to the kingdom watching my niece.
No. As we all of my companions, as we all have adventured together, I I feel like it's a new experience for me, but I feel like we're all kind of becoming closer. We all kind of watch each other's backs. So this is something that I feel like I can do.
Okay, well, that settles it. You're now an agent of the crown. You no longer belong in jail. You have a job, and that job is to do what you're doing. If you fail that job, if you betray my niece, if you run from your task or responsibility, I will kill you. I will kill you slowly, and I will kill your house. Any questions? Your family will cease to exist.
Okay.
Or if
I'm
you,
not sure what my mother will feel about this, but okay.
yeah, she's I try not to talk to her too much. She's an opinionated, stubborn one. Your mom. Very nice and smart, I'm sure. Not my kind of person to hang out with. How did you grow up with that? And as he's talking and kind of rambling about how terrifying your mom is, he puts his hand on your shoulder and he starts to stroll out. He kind of kicks the cell door with his boot, and the guards jump. They didn't even realize kind of he was in there, and they go to rush to open it out. And he kind of looks at them both as he leads you out of the cell. The guards go in and gather your belongings and come rushing up to bring you your stuff back in a bag. Kane and Phanilius make their way to Rick's family's house. Kane steps back and let you walk through the front doors. He's basically brought you to the front door of your mom's tower.
Sir, before I 100% commit to this, it's not now just my life on the line. Could you wait around for just a moment and let me explain this situation to my mother, who may send me back out to see you again?
That's Kane laughing. He goes, "You wouldn't be the first guy she sent my way. Good luck, and it may have been nice knowing you."
Phineas takes a very deep breath and then walks into his house to find his mother.
Okay. If you had three guesses of where she were, you would spend all of them on the lab. So I'm assuming you make your way towards the lab where you know she's probably at.
Yes, I do.
And as you go in, she's in her chair, her very worn out chair, furiously, uh, furiously scribbling notes as you come in behind her in the door.
Mother,
Hmm.
I have a situation. It's just
She kind of, for the last time, I don't know how to help you get over your fear, women.
not that situation, Mother.
What? What can she goes, every time you stop my work, people's lives could be jeopardized. You know this. What can I do for you?
Well, since you brought it up, it kind of relates. You are aware that Her Royal Highness was missing, and she ended up being uh, Basha and in Centervale, and you are aware that I knew that. Well, a couple days ago, I teleported myself using the runes that you taught me to the palace, and I turned myself in. The royal family seemed
Hold on.
upset.
She holds her hand out and goes, "You used the talents I instilled in you to commit suicide."
Well, it's a little worse than that. Um,
Obviously, you're still alive, so you don't even commit suicide well. What did you do?
well, long story short, I spent some time um, as a guest down in one of the rooms, interviewed several times. Kane is actually, I believe you know Kane. He's outside right now.
She pauses you and she says, "Kane or Springwater?"
Yes.
Okay. She kind of straightens up, organizes her papers. She closes her book. You have her full attention.
He's kind of Kane right now, but when he interviewed me recently, he was Springwater, and he offered me a solution to the problem. What I did is the royal family considers treason, and you know what that means. I accepted the consequences of that, and Springwater offered me an alternative to go back to Centervale, rejoin my companions in the guild, and basically keep an eye on Her Royal Highness and make sure that nothing bad happens to her. Uh, but if I fail in that job, or I run away from it, or whatever, then my life is forfeit. But he said that my whole house is forfeit.
She sucks her breath in a little bit and she kind of closes her eyes and she points at her right there between her eyebrows for a few seconds and she's kind of thinking and she very seriously looks towards you and says, "But if you succeed, you stay alive."
Yes.
Well, it's always an easy decision that if I have to choose risking my own life or losing my son, I will risk my own life anytime. So while I think it's dumb that you're in this, if you need anything, let me know. And for the love of God, you better be good at your job back in the guild.
I I will do my best.
Do you need anything before you go?
No, I I well, maybe I kind of would like to just leave from here. Kane is a nice enough guy, I suppose. Springwater kind of terrifies me, and I thought maybe I could just leave from here, and maybe you could, if you don't mind, maybe you could let him know that I I left and that I accepted his offer. Maybe.
So you want me to tell him that you've accepted the offer. Did he have an asterisk? What again happens if you run from his proposal?
Um, then he will find and kill me, and my whole house, is forfeit.
So my only problem with your proposal is, wouldn't it seem as if you're running from him?
No. I told him I accepted, but that I had to talk to you because this affects more than me. So I mean, you know what? Never mind. I this is something I should do.
Let me do it with you. And she's going to get up and walk with you towards the front of the house. Weirdly showing support. She's not scolding you. She's not glaring at you. She's not looking down on you. She understands that you're in a big pickle, and she stands in support of her family. It's the most supportive you've felt from her possibly ever.
It's very confusing. Vanillius is very confused.
Sure, you're mortified. Like, you know how to deal with scolding and anger, but this is different. So she she walks with you down to the front, opens the door. She nods at Kane or Springwater. Kane and or Springwater nods back, and she goes, "Threatening my house, huh?" And Kane goes, No. I would never threaten your house, but I did lay some pretty clear stipulations. Any problems with anything?" And she kind of goes, "Yeah, you're an idiot. Why would you doubt my son? He is my son. Have I ever failed in anything? No. Has his father ever failed in anything? No. Has anybody that you can think of in his lineage ever failed at anything, jackass? No. So we'll take your stupid stipulation as long as you don't plan to hold him hostage for his entire life, and we'll figure it out. Now, what do you want?" She's kind of scolding him like she normally scolds you. And Springwater is a lot less Springwater and a lot more Kane right now. He goes, "Well, I was just going to have him give me a boost back to Centervale. I have some other business there, ma'am, not related to this, and would love to go that way," he says kind of awkwardly. And she kind of goes, "I don't know why you, Springwater, look at me." And she kind of mumbles as he march. And she marches you kind of both up there and sets you to work, making the portal. And at that spot, I think we'll leave you and we'll jump back to everybody who's standing near piles of smoldering flesh.
It's stinky here.
Basil
Nice.
trying his best not to vomit.
What are you guys doing? Oh, Basil's vomiting. Give me a constitution check, Basil, because you said it.
Yay.
10 or higher, you're good. 10 or less, you vomit like crazy.
A check or a save?
We'll just save. We'll say it's a save. Sounds savey.
That's a 6.
So Basil, feeling nauseated at the smoldering flesh, rolls a 6 on his Constitution save, and does not meet my very easy to meet 10 when you consider Constitution benefits and stuff like that. And Ralph's right onto the moldy, smoldering flesh, and the smell for you guys is disgusting.
Briss is gonna go over and just kind of pat Basil's shoulder. Just feel like, "It's okay, tiny friend. It does not smell great."
Guy comes up to you, Basil, and goes, "Hey, if you could not, I want to look at these for a little bit. So if you could, like, they're already melty, but like I don't want to ask Brisinger not to melt them anymore. She's terrified. So if you could not, like, puke on them no more, that would be great because it's gross."
I'll try and redirect the puke streams. Get away from.
And he's like
Gooey pile.
poking at the one not puked on with a stick, kind of in the Play-Doh of flesh that was a flesh golem. All right, what do you guys want to do?
Briss is just gonna forcibly pick up Basil and just kind of move him like to another spot in the room where he can puke more comfortably.
I'm your puke prince.
Yeah, you my baby.
Pasha's gonna
Can a
pick up her
person actually
weapons.
puke comfortably?
Briss is gonna look at Basil and say, "Him baby."
All right, and so what did you say you wanted to do, Ren?
No, I was just asking, can anybody really puke comfortably?
That is you cannot puke comfortably at all.
All right, so what do you guys want to do now?
When I'm done vomiting, I will. Maybe we could take a little bit of a break. Thank you, Brisinger, by the way.
Should we investigate the room and see if there's anything here worth grabbing?
Treasure. Yes.
I might do that for you if you want to.
Go ahead.
Right, Your Highness.
No.
You may search for me, peasant.
Ren rolled an 18.
Gry was gonna investigate the bookshelf, but got distracted by the bones, so he never actually made it there. Ren, You roll around and you actually find some leather gloves that are beautiful considering the condition of their end.
Oh well, I put them into my bag.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything else? That's it. You find. You don't find any money. There's the bookshelf still though.
Oh, is there anything else in the room?
No, not really. Bunch of bones, melty, pukey, flesh golems. Thanks, Basil.
Got you, boo.
I'm gonna go over to where Gry is poking and just be like, "Do you find anything interesting in sludge?"
No, it's just I thought maybe I could learn something about it, and no, nothing new.
Just good sludge.
Yeah. So does anybody check out the bookshelf?
Roland will check out the bookshelf.
Perfect. Give me
He goes back to rolling for him. In that
give me an
instance.
Arcana check when you check the bookshelf out.
Oh,
You're doing
fucking
so great with those.
Hey, a
Oh.
17.
You
Nice.
find most of the books and scrolls are kind of in crappy condition, but you do find one thick book, talking like 1,000, maybe 1,500 page book with the symbol of the cult on the outside, but it is in a language that you don't understand.
And that's thick with 2 C's, right?
3.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Hell yeah,
Oh.
brother.
Perhaps, well, I'll grab this book. Perhaps Vanillius might be able to interpret something from this.
Burn it. I'm kidding.
Is it from the cult?
It's got their symbol emblazoned on the front.
Gry, do you maybe want to take a look at that?
Briss
Yes,
is gonna
Gry, would you take a look?
Briss
Oh,
is gonna
yeah,
look over the shoulder
um,
of whoever has the book. It's like,
I'll also look over their shoulder because I feel like Basil would be like,
I'll take a look.
I'll put away
What
vomiting
language
for
do you
this.
speak, Roland? Just to verify.
You guys are awkward as fuck.
Roland, what languages do you speak? Just to verify.
Rin is just jealous because he
Common,
can't look over her
Druidic,
shoulder.
Dwarvish, Elvish, and Goblin.
Okay. Bresinger will be able to read the book. What languages do you speak, Basil?
Common and Elvish.
Okay, so you have no idea what you're looking at. But Gry and Bresinger can both read the book just fine, as it's in a language they both commonly say. And this is just kind of the tenets of this cult, what they believe, why they believe, that kind of stuff. At least in the brief that you've gone through. If you spend some time studying this book, there may be some things you could figure out in it. He goes, wow. Gry kind of flips through it for a little bit, and he kind of looks up and he goes, this is like their Bible, like, or something.
yes, have copy of it at home.
Not quite. Usually they deal in pamphlets, so maybe Bible's not the best. It might be better to call it like a holy text, like old school, like if you literally had a Bible, like, oh my god, this is like one that the Catholics would keep in the basement, you know.
Oh,
Chris,
they
you've
only
just got
gave
one
me.
of these lying around.
Okay, so what are you guys doing now?
Looking confused at Brissinger.
Rin is going to go to the golem and take back its elephant manacles.
Oh yeah, they're gross. You're gonna want to wash those later.
I will attempt to find a rug, not a rug or a piece of cloth, and wash them.
You're totally gonna want to wash it with something not in this room. It's gross.
I'm gonna put it into the bag and not care about it at all.
Ew.
Okay, so what else are you guys doing? Anything?
Well, if we're done in this room, I don't think this is a good place to really take a break, especially since, again, there could be cultists en route at this moment. Either we
I
should
don't
push
think this is a
forward
good-
or retreat and take a break.
Gry says it might be good to go back to the town for a little bit. And come back like in the morning after we've slept. This place is pretty crazy.
We should
Robbie
have
John
someone-
agrees. Let's go.
We should have someone keep watch though, and not leave the cave entrance unattended.
I will spend the night if you want to. I don't mind.
I don't
Shouldn't
mind.
shouldn't stay alone though.
Why don't Gry says
Well-
honestly I don't mind, like death and whatnot. And I haven't nothing really hit me, so I could stay here, and if anything happens, I can at the very least send Tim or Tom to get you, or I can come and leave them to defend, or something like that, just so we have somebody here to make sure. I don't know, whatever it could happen does happen.
Well, me, Rin, and you, Gry, can just stay here if the rest of the party wants to go back.
I don't mind just sleeping out in the nearby area.
All right, so real quick, who's staying? Who's going?
I'll stay.
Robbie Jean is going.
I'll stay.
Okay,
I
so
will go.
Bash will stay, Gry will stay, and then everybody else can go back.
I was gonna stay too.
Yes, Rin as
Mm.
well.
Okay, so you two are gonna stay, and the rest are gonna head back. So we're gonna split the party into 3 now. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, Roland, Brissinger, and Rabajan will head back to town, I suppose.
Robbie Jean is like running back to town.
I just want you guys to see my face as I realize the party's at a 3rd strength right now.
Wow.
Really only half strength because the 3-way split is only one person is, but we should be getting him back soon, hopefully.
As you guys head back into town, so right now I have Roland, Mallory, and Bresinger heading to town. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna pause you guys. Basil, Rin, and Basha, are you guys doing anything in particular at the cave?
I want to attune to the rapier that I picked up.
Okay. Grad definitely volunteers to take first watch if you guys want to do stuff with magic items. And Ren.
I want to show the gloves to shit, what's his name? The
Gray.
kid. Gray, yes. So Gray, would you be kind enough to take a look at these? It seems that you are some sort of magic user. Maybe, just take a look at these and tell me if
He
they're
gets
worth anything.
a huge smile on his face. It's still creepy. He's like, and he goes,
Well,
You want me to help you do something, Mr. Ren?
Yeah, don't look at me like that first, because it frightens me as shit. And then yes, I would like you to help me.
So
Oh.
you want me to? What do you want me to do? Look at you want me to? And he kind of holds his. He takes the gloves from you and looks at them, and he goes, "Ooh, these are magical." And if you spent the evening getting to know them, I know that sounds weird, but maybe studying them and whatnot, you would possibly that would probably reveal its magic to you because that's how they work. It's weird. He basically says
Yes.
spend a short rest trying to attune yourself to them.
All right, thanks, kids. I remember that. If you ever need
And he
my
goes,
services.
Thank you, Mr. Red.
Oh, please stop doing that.
Whispering. Okay, thank you, Mr. Ren.
Oh, whatever. Thanks, kids. And Rin turns around and go a little bit far away from the kid.
So you see Gry, he kind of takes, all right, Tom, we have a special mission. All right, we can't screw this up because they're watching us, but we gotta watch the cave hole. And then he sits he crosses his legs, Indian style, and then the 2 skeletons kind of weirdly look at each other and almost shrug, and then sit down Indian leg style next to him on either side, and they all 3 are gazing at the cave entrance. And we're gonna pause you guys there. Boom, Roland, Rabijan, Bresinger. Anything in particular? You just heading to the humble.
Heading back to the inn. If Nina is present, we're going to kind of brief her on the current situation involving Caleb, or whatever Caleb was, and this nearby dragon cult.
Okay, so you guys come back to the humble beginnings, and sitting at the bar, you see a collection of just unique individuals. Nina is in her chair sharing drink. You see Kane is in one of the seats near her. You see an orc warrior who is massive. You assume he's a warrior. He's got all the right warrior stuff. He's easily. How tall is Bresinger?
Briss is 7'3".
So he's probably 7'2.5". I didn't want Bresinger to be out talled. and he's just this massive orc, and he's got this kind of light green looking. It's a mix of scale and plate mail. He's got these huge, just gnarly axes on his hips with lots of notches in them. And he's sitting there and he's drinking with Nina. You see the little gnome, the sickly gnome, sitting on the stool. He's laughing. He looks better. And he's sitting there. He's pounding some little gnome drinks. I don't know what you just pointed at me, but yes, it is that guy. Yes, Mal, wrong. It's that guy. You see, to your surprise, the potato farmer O'Malley is as actually wearing a set of scale mail. You see a very big shield propped up next to him, and he's sitting there slamming drinks down with them. And then you see, at first to your horror, you see a troll at the end of the bar, and this troll is also drinking beers with everybody. And this troll is probably the weirdest. So Nina's got, leather. She's dressed for battle. She's got her leather armor on. All these people, their gear, you see weapons strewn kind of close to them. The troll is dressed in overalls, right? No shoes, and he's got like only one of the overall straps is down, the other one's hung down, right? He's got a big straw hat. He's got a big piece of like straw. He's kind of doing some big tusks that come out. He looks more like a World of Warcraft a troll, a World of Warcraft troll than a what you consider your typical WoW D&D troll. And so he's sitting at the end of the bar, and behind him you see two massive swords kind of leaned against, and they're all just sitting there having a good time. That's what you walk into.
Briss is gonna see the gnome and immediately head to the bar to get a drink.
So these people, they're all just sitting around with Nina, kind of having a good old time.
Oh, they're having a blast. There's lots of drinks. They're all, some of them will talk for a little bit and then they'll laugh, and then somebody else will jump in and they're cracking up. It's a party. They're throwing a party. These people have known each other for a long time.
Abby feels the need to party, so she's gonna try and like unceremoniously barge in and be like, "Hey, Robbie John is here. Can Robbie John have a drink? Robbie John needs a drink."
And when you come up to the bar, Kane's gonna be like, somebody needs to get the pretty kitty a drink, I think. I'll buy. And he sends a couple shots your way.
Purr.
Did you just...
Yes, I did.
I don't know what to do with you. All right, what's everybody else doing? Roland, Silver, or Brez, what are you guys doing in the bear?
Briss is stealing food as per usual and drinking.
I'm not gonna make you roll. Not doing it. I kind of wanna, but I'm not doing it.
No, I'll do it. Let's do it.
No, this is not your best moment.
No, let's do
Ever
it.
in the
Let's
history.
try
Please do.
All right, roll your sleight of hands. That's a lot better than you normally do.
Hey, it's 13. That's not that bad.
It's not 0.
It's not 0, so it's a success.
So for you, that's a crit success. You are stuffed with snacks.
Snacks.
And at this moment, Phanelius, tired, you finish the task that we were whispering about, but you want to, at the end of it, Nina asked you to come down and give her an update to how it works.
All right. So I come downstairs and look for Nina. Is she in her normal spot?
She's absolutely in a normal spot, along with all of those weirdos I described as well.
And Robbie John.
And Robbie John.
Well, that was implied, I think.
You are sassy today.
That was good. That was highbrow sass. Like that could have flown over the head and you'd have been like, wait a minute later. Wait a minute.
So Phanelius goes over to Nina and he says, excuse me, Nina, I am done. I finished.
Everybody kind of stops and looks at Nina, and then she looks at you, and so all of these super strong adventurers look at you. She goes, "How did it go?"
Oh, I haven't tested it yet, but I believe it is good. I believe it'll work.
Oh my god! She thinks for a second. She looks at all the friends, and she goes, "Okay, wait. Answer this. Can you open it so that they can go through it and then come right back?"
Yes, I can. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, we got to play a joke on. Oh, come on! And she says, "Trotline, let's come." And she grabs you and goes and hoists you up back into the room. And Trotline, the troll at the end of the bar, goes in a nice deep voice, "Oh crap!" And he grabs his swords, straps them over his shoulder, and kind of goofily plots up the stairs after him. She runs into the room and she goes, "Okay, open a portal to the elf castle."
I go ahead and open a portal that I believe leads there.
All right. Give me a D100, and as you're doing that, she's going to shove the troll through the portal.
That would be a 17.
Gosh, you're so lucky that with percentiles I like low instead of high. So lucky. So it goes right to the inner sanctum of Bash's family, and what you imagine happens is a random troll shows up in their dinner room. You guys both, Nina's staring at the portal like. A few moments later, uh, the troll comes back, bleeding from a couple of spots, and goes in the deepest voice you've heard. Just to give you guys comparison, it's the voice that does our intro. That guy's voice. You hear, "Oh my god, a bunch of really angry elves are on the other side of this portal. Probably shouldn't send anybody through there for a while. They're a little upset right now." And then Nina says, "You should probably turn that off right now. Please, please, please turn it off. Please turn it off. Please turn it off right now."
I turn it off.
You deactivate the portal. Go ahead and give me another D100. Yeah, you think it's turned off.
That's a 91.
Yeah, it's totally turned off. Good job, buddy. And you guys head back down to the bar, right? Like at least Nina and Trotline do.
Yes. Yeah, I have successfully disabled the teleportation circle, so I'm going to ask Nina if she doesn't need me anymore, and I go ahead and head out.
Okay, she dismisses you. And then, okay, Roland, Mallory, Bresinger, Rick, you guys doing anything for the night? Anything we need to roll or chat about?
I think-
Robbie's getting wasted.
Sweet.
Okay, Roland is going to approach Finn with the book. Fernelius, there are some strange happenings going on around here that you missed out on while you were away. We found this book. It's something to do with some sort of strange dragon cult that appears to be infiltrating the town and the surrounding area. Perhaps you might want to peruse this and see if there's anything that you can learn from it. And then Roland hands Fernelius the book.
Absolutely, certainly. By the way, I'm sorry I was gone longer than I thought I would be. We're right down in the main area, right? So other people could hear this.
Yes, you are.
I went back to the capital. I did some stuff. I talked with my mother. I'm back now. Everything should be fine. I'll go take a look at this book. Do you need it like right now, or?
No, just whenever it's most convenient for you. We plan on returning in the morning. Rin and Basha and a potential fledgling guildmate are keeping watch on what appears to be their hideout.
Okay. Well, I will study this right now then and see if I can learn anything.
Can Briss kind of move over and just be like, "Oh, I can actually read that if you need any help."
Sure. We can sit right here. I look for an open table somewhere in a corner, out of the way.
Perfect. Let's sit and read.
As you guys start sitting and reading, you notice that there is a gnome looking over both of your shoulders.
Fernelius probably doesn't notice. He's got a new book that he's studying. I'm not going to pay any attention to.
Okay.
Roland's not really familiar with the gnome, so he's kind of a little cautious. And
there's a lot of weirdos in the bar tonight.
Roland gets himself a drink first because he is quite enamored with the sauce. And as he returns, he's like, he looking at the gnome. What are you doing?
What? Huh? What? Who? What are you doing?
This is. You are watching my companions here quite intently. Maybe a little too
Not
intently.
really so much them. It's the book. The book's interesting.
Perhaps you should go and mind something else for the time being until we get this worked out.
You should have another beer. On me. More beers for this guy. Beer. Is that what you drink? Beer?
I prefer an autumnal wine, thank you.
Yep. Get the guy that. All of that he can handle. I want to see if this guy can turn into a balloon and float. Get it to him. And the server brings out 2 drinks at a time to you.
I appreciate the beverages, but that still does not excuse you from eavesdropping on my companions.
I am not. They can do whatever they want. This book is thrilling. I intend to see it cover to cover. They're reading it first, so instead of taking it from them, I'm just watching.
Well, then why don't you just simply wait your turn?
Wait? Who waits? I'm too old to wait. If I spend my time waiting around, I'll just die. And by the way, he's very old.
I'm sorry. I don't think we've been introduced. Who are you?
Robbie John wants to run up and be like, "Hey, it's that guy."
My name is Stick, and I'm me.
Stick, I don't think I've seen you around here before.
Correct and astute. I have never been here before, ever.
So, what are you doing here now?
Trying to read a book.
No. Before that.
Drinking a lot of beer with Nina. Because she's like, oh, I can outdrink anybody. And I'm like, obviously you can't. I'm healthy and good to go. Nina, I drink all the time.
I see. Roland is kind of at a loss for words at this point and shakes his head and just walks away.
He's gonna put his arm around your shoulder as best he can, considering he's a gnome. So he's gonna put his arm around your ankle and lead you to the bar and says, let's have a couple of drinks and chat if you want.
Brissinger is going to steadfastly ignore that entire situation because, oh god, that gnome is annoying.
You are not the only person to think so. All right. Anybody else doing anything before the next day?
Oh, I picked up that ring the other day. And
yes, today.
Yeah.
And you've never taken a short rest to look at it.
No, I did. You told me to take a short rest, and so I did.
We didn't take a short rest.
You haven't had a short rest yet.
Damn
it's your
it.
next short rest.
Okay, can I go ahead
and
and
reading
take a
the
short
book
rest?
with Fenilius.
Damn it.
You want to leave the book?
No, I can't leave the book.
But with a long rest, you should be able to. But Roland, after he finishes his 3rd or 4th glass of autumnal wine, he will head out of the humble beginnings, and he's going to rest in his glade that evening.
No problem. So let's do this. Instead of bouncing back, we're gonna end this with all of you guys taking a short rest. But with those of you in the humble beginnings, Stick will sit on the bar and be like, all right. So he'll point to Roland, he'll point to Bresinger, he'll point to Fenilius and Brack, who's in there drinking. Brack, by the way, is annoyingly close to you, Bresinger, kind of waiting for a drink off to happen. And they'll point to Rabijan as well and be like, so are these your he'll look at Nina and be like, so are these the kids? These are the new guild you got going on here? These mighty warriors of Centerville? These defenders of the tall grass that is the Vale? Is that what this is? And Nina's gonna be like, I bet they could kick your ass. She kind of says to him. Stick's gonna laugh. First of all, none of them have a foot that can reach so low as my little ass. Second of all, not happening, because I can still beat everybody in the bar or nobody in the bar all at the same time. And yes, that didn't make sense on purpose, damn it. I have that written down right over here. Then Nina's gonna roll, and he goes, "Well, have you told them anything about who you are? Like, do they know anything about the mighty Nina, Slayer of Dragons?" And he kind of pauses for a second to let that sit in dramatically. And she
Robbie
goes,
John is going to turn open mouth in awe towards Nina and just impatiently, expectantly wait for the story.
Nina's gonna go, "I haven't. No, because I didn't think that this guild would last this long. I thought they were kind of whimsical and were going to take off, but it's not. They're growing. The town's doing good. They're amazing people, and I hadn't. I'm just letting their story be the focus, not mine." And he goes, "You
Jeez.
quit?"
Wow, Nina, thanks for the vote of confidence.
She's an alcoholic lady. She's kind of crazy sometimes. And so he goes, "I'm going to probably stop doing the voice for the story because it's my throat." So he goes, "Basically, you kids know there was a war between, dragons and giants, right?"
I want to be so sarcastic right now, but that doesn't fit my character. Yes, of course.
Okay, well, that war wasn't won on hugs and kisses, right? There was a lot of lives lost and some spells thrown in. A lot of the kingdoms focused on it. The Dwarven kingdom locally mainly focused on fighting the giants, and the elves, well, they took to the dragons. And with that, the humanoids were able to kind of broker a peace. And by peace, I mean we kicked their silly asses off of our land and started establishing our own cultures again.
So what you're saying is it was actually like a three-way war.
It was probably more ways than that, because even though the dragons and the giants were against each other, there were a couple of groups that had both giants and dragons working together to fight against. It's weird. Many factions, multifaceted. But yeah, if you were to, with low intelligence, want to very roughly wrap this idea up, you could say there's a three-way war in this. But it's even less than that, because really it was
Roland
all the
glares
giants
at
and
him.
dragons. All the giants and dragons, and at that time we were nothing but slaves to them, practicing magic or fighting or combat or even anything besides farming materials for the dragons or hunting and gathering food for the giants was strictly punishable by death, and hell, even doing those things could lead to your death. But at that time, the people started to form guilds. Right? And these guilds were a group of adventurers running around and doing things, and it just, as these guilds, which operated in secret, grew in strength and power, eventually we challenged the dragons and the giants and we won. And we were a part of a guild that was founded in the Elven Kingdom. Kane here, he was the leader of the guild for a long time. He's older than you guys think he is. And these people here, we're all the first people to join that guild. We killed many things together for a long, long time, including a couple of ancient red dragons, one of which Nina fought on her own, and she didn't die.
Briss's head is gonna kind of pop up at the mention of a red dragon.
Now, at the end of the war, we didn't win by killing them all because, let's be honest, giants and dragons, we were a little outmatched. What we did do was cause enough of a threat that we made an agreement with them, and they with us. We would disband our guilds permanently, and they would leave our lands, and they've flown to the other side of the world effectively, or to other dimensions, depending on how magical they are. But they're gone from here. The problem is you kids fought a dragon. You little bastards fought a dragon, and that broke that up. Now, before then, this was just kind of a regular guild you guys are a part of. But since then, Nina's gotten pretty serious about it. And it seems like she's going to try to resurrect the old ways. So, how strong did you think Nina was? And honestly, why do you think nobody ever sits in her seat?
Robbie John thinks maybe it's because she's the leader of the guild.
Out of respect, of course. I mean, she is a very prominent personality here in the town.
If she wanted to, and none of us were here to stop her, she could make her way through this town single-handedly, including you guys and all of your orcs and elephants. She's a pretty tough lady. I've seen her fly into a fit of rage, wake up 4 days later with half an army dead. I've seen her fly into a fit of rage, and I woke up 4 days later with half an arm left on my body. Don't get in the wrong way of this lady when she starts frothing at the mouth.
Wait,
You're
Robbie
potato-
John is confused. Did you have half an arm just like laying on you, or you yourself only had one half an arm?
He holds his left arm up and goes, "Everything from the elbow to the fingers was gone, and if it wasn't for your potato farming healer, I would have never got my arm back." By the way, you look over and see that O'Malley, the potato farmer, is sitting up at the desk. I think I pointed that out earlier. He's the best damn healer I've ever met in my life, and I'm old.
Hey, it's Potato Guy.
Hey,
You're
Briss,
kinda-
look, it's the potato guy.
You see him nursing vodka. Oh yeah,
Briss.
Briss, sorry. You stole from
Of
one
course,
the old
it's
adventurers.
vodka.
I loved it so much whenever you stole from him. I was like, ha 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 ha. That was my inner DM laughing.
Sorry, I couldn't help that.
I'm gonna go take a nap. Y'all suck.
On your way up, he offers you some vodka. That's why he farms potatoes.
No,
Of
that
course.
was me saying that, not in character.
Oh, because you remember that one time you rolled a 0 to steal from one
Hey,
of the
remember
greatest
that
warriors
one
in the
time
world?
that I never came back to D&D ever?
I don't. It's not allowed. Sorry. You no longer get. You don't have the agency to do that anymore.
Thank you for listening to Defenders of the Veil. You can follow the cast on Facebook at Defenders of the Veil or on Twitter at Defenders Veil. If you're a fan of the show, why not head over to Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or your pod-catching app of choice to subscribe and leave us a rating and review. Be sure to tune in next week for more shenanigans from the Veil. Until then, Guildies, farewell.